Greetings, Andy here again, and I'm jumping on a thread this time, and it's one which is being set off by Martin at the Vinyl Scavenger, and this is his push to 500 subscribers, which I had a look this morning, and he's well over that already. So this has been very successful, but it's a fun one. So basically, he's set the challenge of 10 records, 5 of which have red covers or are red, and particularly looking at the spine, and or in whatever way 5 albums by dead people. So he's called it Red or Dead, and but I said, well, do mix up whatever you want to do, basically. So I've got 10 records which are red in one way or another, 5 of which feature some dead people, or now dead people, or are associated with, I think, most accurately. So this is sort of red and dead. I've got a huge variety here, real different variety of records, and I've got a comp, I've got live, I've got jazz, I've got rock, I've got prog, bit of everything. And I'm doing these in roughly sort of chronological order. So the first 4 have dead people in them. I mean, there are no surprises here. Not surprisingly anyway, because of the, they're the older ones. And then I'm going to finish off with one which is quite recent, but it also involves a dead person in one way or the other. So let's get cracking. And the oldest one of all, red, of course, and it's the compilation and the Beatles 1962 to 1966. So they're early stuff. So this is essentially their pop compilation, and there's not much point in me saying anything because everyone knows it. And we move on, and T-Rex, of course, Mark Bowler, try and get the light out of that. T-Rex, and this is live, and it's recorded at Newcastle City Hall in 1972. Funnily enough, I went to see T-Rex. They were the first band I ever saw. A year before this, I saw them in 71, and it was the first concert. I was only 14 at the time, and dragged along with a couple of mates down the street who were a bit older and had a spare ticket. So, and again, brilliant stuff. So that's that. Now, the next one, we're going to say, well, that's not very red, is it? It's black, but it says they're red. So King Crimson red, and of course it features John Wetton on bass and vocals, who sadly passed away when, I don't know, 2000 and in the teens sometime anyway. One of their greatest lineups, with Bruford on drums, Wetton singing, and bass, brilliant bass guitarist, and of course Fripp on guitar and mellotrons and various other stuff. It's this I think is their best album, and contains what is one of, if not the favourite prog track or song ever, and that's the magnificent and epic Starless. So King Crimson, and we move on with that. That was the only trick one, which wasn't sort of reddish, shall we say. Another red one, and we're going with Kraftwerk, and we obviously all of these were in the 70s or released in the 70s, and Man Machine, and where are we on here? So there they are, and Florian, I think that's Florian Schneider. Anyway, he's dead. So there you go, and we all know those. So now we move on. I don't have many records from the 80s, so we're jumping that and into the 90s, and Screamadelica, obviously red there, and obviously Primal Scream, Screamadelica. Brilliant album, everyone knows it. So we sort of move into this century, and just the year 2000, of course, was released Kid A. So this is, I had that on CD at the time. This is the sort of twin release on vinyl of Kid A and Amnesia, which is why it's called that, and it's all sort of back to front around typical Radiohead. But basically, the spine's red, so it was winking at me from the rack. And now we move forward into some prog, and from Norway, and it's Airbag. So there's the side, and their 2011 album, which is called All Rights Removed. That's the track. Yeah, All Rights Removed. Airbag, as I say, Norwegian from Oslo, Norwegian prog band. Brilliant guitar, very reminiscent of Dave Gilmour in style. So it has a sort of slight feel of a sort of Pink Floyd-y feel. Not like Pink Floyd, but the guitar style sort of is reminiscent. And I've got quite a few of their albums because they're brilliant. And now we move. Now we're coming right up to the date. The next few are current decade, and this is the jazz album, red on the side, and it's Ezra Collective, and it's called Where I'm Meant to Be. And this. So if we talk about for a minute the Mercury Music Prize, which is for non-Brits, is a prize of the sort of straddles the last half of one year into the first half of the next year, and it's about to be announced for 2024/25 on Thursday. And this album won it in 2023, so 2 years ago, and it's the first and only ever jazz album to win the Mercury Prize, and it's basically sort of voted for by a jury of UK and Ireland, so British Isles in totality, while still on the subject of the Mercury Prize, a band which is up for it this year, not for this album but their latest one, is Fontaines D.C, and this is their 2022 album. Same year was released was the Ezra Collective one, and this is Skinty Fear. This is actually my favourite of their albums. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I don't think Fontaines will win it this year, but they will be my vote if I had one, and I don't. And so we come to the last album, which is very recent. It's this year. It's one of my favourite records of the year so far. And there you go, it's red on the side, and it is Alan Sparhawk with Trampled by Turtles. And the Dead collection here is Alan's wife, Mimi Parker, who passed away, I think, in 2022 from cancer. And this album really is him, it's not about her, but she's all over it in one way or the other. And some of the lyrics are so touching. I can't read the lyric sheet and listen to this at the same time without blubbing, basically. So fabulous album. So there you go. I actually had way more. If I'd sort of gone sort of slightly, reddish, sort of going into sort of like slightly magenta and crimson and pinkish and slightly orangey and so on, I probably could have done 2 or 3 times as many, but I wanted to get a good mix, and I wanted some Dead stuff in there. So there you go, that's my red and Dead. Thanks to Martin at the Vinyl Challenge for putting this up, and I put a link in the description. So if you don't know him, go and see his site and subscribe. So thanks very much for watching. Cheers.